I don't think that the universe is ready for this season, because these changes with a whole new legend and the most overpowered attachment being removed is going to change the flow of the game completely. Welcome to Apex University, and in this video we're going to go through the patch notes so that you will be prepared and ready when the new season launches. The biggest way that this season will differ from season 20 is the fact that Respawn is introducing the new legend for us, that being Alter. This multi-dimensional void manipulator has some new tricks up her sleeve, which will surely bring us a new aspect to the game. With her tactical ability, she can make teleports, which doesn't work the same way that we're used to seeing when talking about void shifting portals. Her teleports can go through solid surfaces, including walls, floors, objects, and everything else that is less than 20 meters in depth. And on top of that, anyone has access to the portal infinitely during the portal's uptime, which is 15 seconds long. The luxury of having fully reinforced doors and trapped up windows won't bring the same kind of safety anymore, because now thanks to Alter's abilities, the enemies can literally fall from the sky. And this might promote people to play more controller legends. Maybe we're gonna start seeing Caustic or Watson in the same team in order to multiply the amount of traps to defend the building, in order to turn breaching a building as an Alter into an actual suicide mission. Her passive allows you to loot one stack of a specific item from a loot box if it is within range of 75 meters. There has been some speculation about her replacing Loba, but in my opinion, it's kind of reaching, because Loba still has an ability to craft banners, open support bins, and so much more, which brings so much value that Alter cannot provide. Alter's ultimate is basically a failsafe if your push or rotation starts to go downhill. It deploys a device on the ground which kind of works like a checkpoint for 120 seconds. If you're within 200 meters of that checkpoint, you can call yourself back to the device at any time just by looking at the device and holding the interact key. This animation takes 3 seconds to finish, but afterwards you will start facing back to the point. This, combined with her level 3 skill upgrade, will change the device's uptime from 120 seconds to infinite, which allows you to create some unbelievable plays with it as well. Her other upgrades aren't talked about as much, so let's mention them. The other upgrade lowers the tactical cooldown by 10 seconds, and the level 2 upgrades either lowers the ultimate cooldown by 30 seconds or allows Alter to see the health and shields of any nearby players after exiting her portal, which will help deciding on who to actually, shoot first. This legend will definitely shake up the meta, and for the start of the season we will probably see her being played in every team's legend composition before she finds a solid place. The next big update this patch will be the map pool. For the first half of the ranked and pub season, we will see King's Canyon coming back into the rotation with World's Edge and the newly updated Broken Moon. World's Edge is getting new ring console spawns to Mirage Tra, and of course server beacons to Server Camp and the Geyser, which buffs these smaller points of interest to become more viable for landing, especially in higher levels of play and competitive. But as for map changes, that's not really the gem of this update. Broken Moon got some points of interest absolutely nuked to the ground. Promenade, or as we players like to call it, Never Go There, or its insta third party, got wrecked when the lore status array node fell from the sky. What was an annoying, very tall and impassable wall is now a POI called the Quarantine Zone. Multiple buildings and POIs have been relocated due to the twists in the void. Like near the edge of the map, there was a POI called Breaker Wharf, which now has been moved to the place that was previously known as Backup Atmo Station. Near the old location of Breaker Wharf is a new POI called Spaceport, which aims to eat up the open space desert and make more playable spots and loot pools near that area. We also got a lot of new smaller landing spots and quality of life map updates added to the mix, which changes the look of Broken Moon completely. Maybe the wholeheartedly hated map is finally getting some love back from the players. Maybe people will actually start enjoying it. At least I can confidently say that these changes are going to make the map so much more fun to play and actually work, without some locations being so overly dominating that the rest of the map is completely empty after Ring 1 closes. In addition to that, this season is going to be so exciting because solo mode is finally coming back after way too many years. Solo's takeover will be taking over the duo game mode playlist from May 7th to June 24th, and we at the Apex University are cooking up a guide for this specific game mode in order for you to win and show your true skills when the event drops. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss that, and all the other valuable guides that are in the pipeline. But anyways, let's move on to some actual balance updates. First, we have the care package weapons being changed a little bit. As the devotion goes into the care package, every movement Wraith's beloved wingman is going to return to the ground with some changes. Its projectile size has been reduced to pre-care package values, and the damage is also being dropped from 50 to 45, meaning it will be harder to hit shots, and obviously they will deal less damage. It's not really that huge of an amount, but seeing as the wingman also will not be able to take magazines anymore, this means that the overall DPS over the course of a fight will go down considerably. Not even mentioning that Skull Piercer is being removed from the game and the hipfire accuracy is being reduced on top of that. But we also have some good news for the wingman. The wingman can now take the booster loaded hop up, which allows you to get more bullets for your next magazine if you reload when you still have a few bullets left in that previous mag. Taking its place in the care package is something I wasn't expecting at all, that being the devotion. This bad boy is going to be absolutely busted. The Devotion will have a new so-called reverse hipfire, which means that the hipfire accuracy will tighten itself instead of widening as you keep shooting, eventually turning it into a laser that melts anything that comes in your way. I mean, not literally, but it kind of feels like it. Also, the damage is increased from 15 to 16. Its magazine size has been increased from 48 to 54. Its empty reload time significantly was reduced, and the reserve ammo is set to 324, which together makes this weapon shoot tactical nukes onto your enemies. The gold weapon rotation is also getting some fresh looks. The Nemesis, Triple Take, Peacekeeper, Prop, and Longbow will be the golden weapons this season. I'm personally really looking forward to the golden Peacekeeper because that can probably cause some pretty serious damage. One change that is absolutely massive for players who like to play aggressive and contest for the better prize is that you now get guaranteed weapons out of loot bins. The way this works is that the first loot bin opened by an unarmed player will always contain a weapon, which means making a contest over a POI less luck-based and a lot more based on your gun skill. The only downside of this is that after losing a contest, we can't blame loot anymore. Also, retrieving banners from death boxes is finally made a little bit smoother. Now, grabbing the friendly banner won't literally freeze your character into that pesky animation. Running, shooting, punching, and reviving will all break out of the banner collect animation while still registering as a successful collection. Players can also immediately interact with the death box after taking the banner. This is a huge quality of life update for the high tier of gameplay, because previously it was nearly impossible to grab a shield swap from your teammates due to the animation. This will also lower the bar for players to grab their teammates' banner, because now you can actually make it out alive. And also to promote playing for your team instead of just ratting, survival items will now only spawn from a support bin's tray if the team actually needs it, which in a way kind of buffs the legends with a support role. But anyways, let's hop back to the weapon and attachment changes so we can talk about those some more, because there's a lot more to talk about. The marksman and sniper rifles are getting a good amount of changes as well. Obviously, because the skull piercer has vanished from the game, this changes the meta a lot. And in addition to that, the boosted loader is being added to the triple take. On top of that, the charge rifle aim down sights recoil is improved and stabilized. The longbow DMR will no longer take barrel stabilizers, so instead the stock amount of recoil will resemble the same amount of recoil that it had once it had a purple barrel equipped. Its projectile gravity is reduced, and also the aim down sights in and out time has been reduced as well, which allows the weapon to be used in close combat situations if you want to go for face climb quickscopes. The triple take can now take the boosted loader hop up, which really increases its damage output. The triple take may take the crown as the best marksman weapon, just like the 32 to G7 Scout, as it also shares the ammo with Havoc and other energy weapons that are very popular right now. We've seen the Digithread optic being in the spotlight for the last season, firstly on SMGs and then on the Mozambique. This single attachment has been so overpowered up to season 21 that the scope is going to be removed from the game completely. You will not be able to find it anywhere from now on. It is gone for good, and honestly, we're just gonna have to wait and see if this affects Bangalore's pick rate. Talking about Bangalore, we also got some spicy legend updates, starting with Ash. The arc snare is finally changed to the left-hand cast, which means you can now heal or shoot while throwing your arc snare. This will definitely boost up the pick rate of Ash, but this buff by itself isn't really enough to put her in the spotlight. The ultimate is also seeing a small buff. Now when traveling through the void portal, the nearby enemies will be highlighted, much like if Alter has changed that specialization and takes that portal, as we mentioned previously. Then of course we have our Bullet Daddy Ballistic. His legend upgrades are seeing some tweaking as the care package's inside is removed and it's replaced by Slingshot, which improves Ballistic's base sling weapon to a fully blue kitted weapon when level 2 and to a fully purple kitted weapon when at level 3. This buff is actually kind of interesting, but I'm not sure it's going to do anything to his pick rate. And Who Let the Hounds Out? Bloodhound is getting some changes too, including another nerf. The ultimate's cooldown is increased from 3 minutes to 4 minutes, which is still manageable with the level 2 ultimate charge ability upgrade. Knocks with your ultimate active no longer extend its duration by default, but players are now able to pick this as a level 3 ability upgrade. Another level 3 upgrade, Taste of Blood, which previously healed 25 health on knocks, will now heal 50 instead. These two ability upgrades split the flow nicely, so you need to choose if you prefer big and long-lasting fights or clean and fast wipes. Catalyst is also seeing some buff that might potentially bring her back into the meta as well. Cooldown to piercing spikes has been decreased from 25 to 20. Long cast upgrade is now integrated into the base tactical, which allows Catalyst to throw her spikes farther. Dark Veil's length has been increased to 45 meters from the previous 40. And of course, seeing as long cast has been removed from the ability upgrade tree and the long veil is moved to level 2, a new upgrade called Pharaoh Door will take its place as a level 3 upgrade. I'm telling you, this upgrade will probably bring Cat back to the meta because this upgrade allows you to rebuild and reinforce broken doors to their original state, allowing you to bunker up into a position that has been completely wrecked before. Caustic has also seen some small changes, but nothing huge. The gas damage and slow now stops immediately after Caustic's squad has been eliminated, meaning that pushing a Caustic and cleaning up the fight fast won't have you get punished despite them being out of the game and you having done all the dirty work. Also, the gas damage ramps up from 4 to 10 max, which makes it pretty punishing to stay inside of the gas for a longer period of time. Caustic will still be a very strong legend and probably stay in the meta, especially in the pro play. Conduit can no longer target a Revenant with her tactical when Rev's ultimate is active, meaning that the most toxic legend combination is finally nerfed. This also disables any temporary shield generation immediately if the Revenant activates its ultimate. The level 2 skill upgrade Battery Collection is removed, and that spot will be taken by the new Backpack skill, which allows you to stack up to 3 batteries per inventory slot. Crypto is finally receiving some love from the developers after being buggy and out of way for so long. The Neuralink, Crypto's passive, will now automatically call out nearby squads when deploying a drone, and the squad count banners are now visible anytime the drone is in a deployed state. This will speed up the gameplay considerably, as you no longer need to find a banner to see if any enemies are nearby. The upgrades are getting some reworks as well. The tactical and ultimate cooldowns are completely removed from the upgrade tree, and the network expansion is moved to level 2, which buffs Crypto in the early game because the EMP will be 25% larger. The level 2 tree is getting a new upgrade called Quick Transmission, which improves drone handling, probably turning the drone into a fighter jet or a UFO. The patch notes won't really tell us. The level 3 tree will get 2 new upgrades. The first one is Hackathon, which doubles the drone recharge rate and gives Crypto a speed boost when the drone explodes, which allows Crypto to be played a lot more aggressively. Another level 3 upgrade is Satellite Imagery, which makes the drone scan persist for 1.5 seconds after losing the line of sight between the drone and the enemy. As for Fuse, he's only getting some upgrade ability changes, as the Big Bang upgrade is removed and replaced by something called the Ringmaster, which will allow Fuse to scan ring consoles. This change is kind of interesting, as some hard zone teams might start using Fuse as a support legend now, as he will be able to scan the zone as well. Newcastle's mobile shield will be about 2.5 times faster to deploy, and the castle wall will now destroy any incoming projectiles heading towards the front of the wall while energized. Note that it won't destroy projectiles fired from behind the wall, nor bombardments from other legends' ultimate projectiles. Also, the upgrade called Stronghold was slightly buffed, increasing the castle wall's energized duration from 2.5 minutes to 3. Octane is the legend that everyone forgot because his kit is pretty weak, and unfortunately they did basically nothing to him, so he's gonna remain weak. Reckless upgrade was removed and Mad Hops was moved to level 2, which boosts the early game Octane, especially on rotations, because now you can put 2 jump pads when you reach Blue Evo Shield. Octane will also have the fixed skin upgrade in both of the level 2 and 3 ability upgrades, which both gives you -5 stim damage each, which allows you to maintain a fast-paced playstyle longer without eating all your health for it. Watson also got some small quality of life changes with her Falling Stars upgrade. Her Falling Stars upgrade can no longer be abused after her squad is eliminated, meaning that enemies can no longer farm Arc Stars on a pylon that is not theirs. As for Wraith, her portal will also highlight nearby enemies when taking it. And as I mentioned previously, solos are coming back for 6 whole weeks. The lobby will consist of 50 solo players, and if you die in the first 4 rounds, you will respawn once, which will give you another chance, because obviously there aren't going to be some contests when 50 different teams are landing into a map with 20 points of interest. As it is a takeover event, there are going to be some small twists included, such as the weapons are fully kitted, circle sizes and round times are fixed, and you will auto-heal after each kill if you're out of combat, making the game a lot more friendly for new players and to keep a more of a casual vibe to it. These changes might sound terrifying, as the matches won't play out the way they normally would, but we are going to make a full guide where we go through every single detail and strategy that you can use in order to gain an advantage when the new game mode arrives. On top of that, as of Season 21, all of the players in a pre-mid rank squad have to be within 3 rank tiers of each other or they will not be able to play. They probably made this change to stop those rookie 4 hackers to get into lobbies that are in, diamond or higher. The rank reset will also be the same for everyone above rookie, so you and your friends can start playing from the same rank. Another thing that has been heavily discussed is end rings, and they have been hilarious and desperate, with some of them ending in the water with not even a single grain of salt to use as a cover. This is finally getting a fix, and the end rings should look normal from now on, but don't quote me on that. And I pretty much covered all of the stuff that is getting changed, removed, or added in Season 21. As the new season drops, we're going to drop guides for the new legend, tips on how to improve the gameplay of the new Broken Moon and the new season, and so much more valuable information that will help you win your games more often, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.